Okay, go ahead. You're good. You're good.
We're good?
Yep.
Let's get ready to talk about the Buffalo Bills. So we need approval of the minutes once again, motion to approve the eighth meeting minute. Okay, now. Kevin, you.
All right, good afternoon. We have the October monthly MCIDC report covering our business between the 1st and the 31st of October. During this period, we made 8 monthly site visits. We had 0 follow-up visits in the month of October. Checked residency with 259 workers. We had 0 issues of non-compliance during the month of October, nor did we deliver any new MCIDC signs.
Any questions for Kevin? Okay, thank you.
Yep, have a great day.
Rick,
Okay, financials through October of this year, you could see our cash balances about almost $2 million, comprised of $376,000 in our operating account, $230,000 in a money market, some balances, a small balance in our gain loan account, but the majority of those funds, almost $1.27 million, is in a micro loan account. As we get through the end of the year, we may look to reallocate some of that excess. Alice and I are going to meet probably the next couple of weeks to figure out what to do with that and potentially look to put that into some of our treasuries and investments. RLF received $10,983 in principal, $2,795 in interest. Our micro loan account, just a couple numbers, just so last month we had another $50,000 that went up, but I would say between July, August, and September, almost a little over $800,000 of loans that kind of went out over these last 3 or 4 months. Pretty big uptick. Certainly what we had, I think, budgeted for the year and where we are through 10 months is a great well over budget in terms of the loans that we're getting out into the community. Just a couple points, in the beginning in January, based on our loan portfolio, we were receiving about $35,000 of interest and about $7,000 of interest. Well, now that run rate is almost $56,000 a month in principal on that portfolio and almost $12,000 in interest. So as that continues to go, that cash flow continues to build. So all good numbers there. Revenue's pretty consistent from month over month. You can see again the big driver there is our bond fee income that has been generated this year. Certainly we don't budget for that, but that's been the big reason of our increased profitability. We do anticipate potentially another couple opportunities closing here at year end. And when and if that does, we'll certainly look to see what maybe to do with some of that maybe excess cash. Probably most likely looking to at least in the short term get it into our investment portfolio, but more to come on that.
or out into the
community once we figure.
Start putting that out.
Yeah, and short term, yeah, exactly. Long term, figure out what that, what the board and the group really wants to focus our excess capital.
Greg, this is not maybe a question, but how much more in terms of loans that we have?
So we this is exciting. In our pipeline, when they all go through, we will only have $88,000 left to get out the door of our total 4.8, and we're a year ahead. So we're gonna throw a party for the staff if we get that 88 out. So we end the year.
We could all get done a year early.
Yeah.
I was looking to blame Tony for something.
The most successful ARPA contract I always reach about in terms of its performance and getting the resources out the door. Under the parameters of the law, it's been the most successful county ARPA program.
So somehow a little bit of nobody knows that.
Then going back to, I don't want to speak for board president, but we pointed out, we do a better job of marketing ourselves.
But again, based on that, like, I do think July, August and September were three really, really good months for getting those dollars out, right? Which has historically been a little bit slower, right? Summer months, whatever that may be, but those months were very busy. Represented 50% of what we've done all year. A little bit more than 50% of what those loans, the whole port, for the loans that were generated this year were done in 3 months.
Wait, let's really go. Please, we can do one.
So,
I will say we may be taking an extra million to get out the door next year. We will let you know when that happens, but we're currently working on our budget, so that may be something that they ask us to do, but we will let you know.
Any more questions for Greg? You got anything else, Greg?
Or by county. We'll let you know.
I don't know what you do in the executive committee before.
All right, well, we had an executive committee meeting, actually losing track of times this week, or was it last week? It was last week. And we were pleased to review a proposal from our friends at Monroe to Orleans BOCES, which administer several great programs in partnership with MCIDC in service of the workforce. This proposal is in regards to the MCDL program, and a request for additional funding for extra. Rebecca Horowitz and Anthony DiNatale from BOCES are here with us today. And I would love to welcome you guys to speak, to share a few remarks about what's on the table here. But our executive committee was viewed as favorably given the great performance of the program so far. And so I would love to open the floor to Rebecca and thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much. And I do want to just apologize that we missed last week's meeting. It was just a miscommunication with our team. I was out with a family matter and we just missed it. And so I do apologize and I appreciate you having us here today.
With us today.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So Anthony's going to talk a little bit about kind of some of the changes that are kind of facilitating and the reason that we're here today. And then we're happy to, take any questions that you might have.
Yeah, so again, thanks for having us. Today's ask is for a vehicle. Just over a year ago, the DMV had told us that we could use the full-size school bus that we currently have for our class to get a generic CDL Class B license. Otherwise, to operate the school bus, you have to have the special endorsements added to your license. So we said, great, we're going to use the bus and use it for a traditional Class B license. Then, as the year progressed, the DMV dropped the bomb on us and says, can't do that anymore. If you're going to bring the school bus to the road test site, you have to have the endorsements that go with it. So we were, in that particular class, we were 1 week out from a road test. So all the students that were in class training on this bus, 1 week before their test was told, can't use this vehicle anymore. You won't be able to get your license. We had to scramble. We worked with Ryder out in Henrietta to get a box truck. So we had to rent a box truck for their road test. Miraculously, they were trained on it and tested on it within 1 week. They had to learn this new vehicle. They all successfully passed.
Yay.
So thank God. Fast forward a little bit to the next class, we were told, as long as you modify the school bus, then you can bring it and use it for a Class B license. Great. 2 weeks before that class ended, we were told, no, DMV legal met and says they're not ready to act on this yet. You're going to have to use another box truck. Same process, going through Ryder again to get another box truck. It's been a hassle for the last 2 classes to do this. So that's why we're here today, to ask for money for a vehicle. Now, Rebecca and I met, and we thought that a traditional Class B truck would be the way to go. However, the vehicle that we are looking for is very scarce. It's a crew cab to hold at least 5 people.
So can I just interrupt for 1 minute?
Sure.
When we first, this was our thinking when we first submitted the application, was for a crew cab for 5 people for the truck. And Anthony has been working behind the scenes to secure quotes and secure information on where are we going to buy this vehicle? And so the numbers that we provided to you are based on some of that initial investigation. But since we have submitted the application, we've continued our investigation and learned a little bit more. And found that there may be additional options available to us, but you can put it on.
Thank you. So we were able to find a used vehicle. This one right here. It would have worked perfect for us. However, it's in Las Vegas
Oh,
and it's already sold. So working with Rochester Regional International out in Henrietta, there's nothing around here. This is the closest that they could find was Las Vegas. And it went like that. So I said, put something together for us that's brand new. Well, of course, a brand new, the price is going to be through the roof. We're looking at 130,000 for a brand new vehicle like this. So I sent Rebecca an email and I says, what if we just get a bus, another bus, and have it retrofitted, if you will, decommissioned, so it's no longer a school bus. We would turn it into an activity bus. That would allow our 18-year-olds to then drive it, because New York State, you have to be 21 to drive a school bus. So we decommissioned the school bus, allowing our 18-year-olds to drive it. They would still get a passenger endorsement on their CDL, but it would still get them to be able to test with this vehicle and, again, get their CDL Class B license to drive any other Class B vehicle that they wish to drive.
Now, ultimately, what this enables us to do, if we exclusively have an official school bus, the only people that we can test are individuals who are 21 and older and qualify for the school bus endorsement specifically. So anyone who's had any, red flags as part of their driving record, who may qualify for a CDL license, but don't qualify for a school bus endorsement, are automatically, not eligible for our program because we can't test them on a bus. And so, we're asking for the money for the vehicle, but we're also asking for a little bit of flexibility as we try to decide exactly what the right vehicle is based on what's available and based on what's going to make sense given the price point. We are not we're not asking for $130,000 for a brand new vehicle, but want to be very transparent that it may not be exactly the kind of vehicle that we initially indicated in our application. Because again, we're learning things as we're investigating what options are out there and what's going to be both fiscally, what's going to make sense, but that's also going to meet the needs of the individuals who we want to test.
So have you checked with the MV to make sure they'll accept this vehicle the way you're talking about doing it?
Yes, they would accept the vehicle the way we're talking about it, only because it would not be a school bus.
So it would be a school bus, but it wouldn't be registered as a
Right.
school bus.
It was born a school bus. It's going to be modified.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sure.
Just to give you a quick stat, through the past 3 classes that we've held, 5 students that have successfully passed would not have been able to enroll in our program and get their CDL had we not gotten the box truck from Ryder to use, because they were under 21 and they've had some issues on their driving record that prevented them from getting the school bus endorsement.
Is that why you've got 13 out of 32 students opted out of the passenger or school bus endorsements? Is that really the major reason why?
Most of those were,
opt out?
yeah, most of those were, I don't want nothing to do with kids, right? They don't want the school bus endorsement. They don't want passenger. They want to drive the dump truck.
Mhm.
Yeah, as much as we try to convince them, like, nope, I'm all good, thanks.
One of the other things that a vehicle of this, a non-school bus vehicle will allow us to do is to advertise our program. So right now, if with our school buses, we can't wrap them, we can't put anything other than Monroe to Orleans BOCES on the side of it, and that's a DOT rule. But if we have a decommissioned school bus or we have another kind of a truck, we can advertise the program. And if it's something that you would be interested in, we can even include something about the county on this on the wrap if we're able to do that. Which again, only helps us continue to get the word out. I just heard you mentioning wanting to be able to advertise your good work more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red letters.
So what questions can we answer for you?
Is there any more for Rebecca? Okay, so, there's a motion. In the executive committee, I believe, has recommended this, right? To deliver a contract with 102 BOCES Center Workforce Development to purchase a pre-owned Class 7 box truck to be used for a CDLB driver's training class. It's not to exceed $76,000.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, and on that motion, I think we just wanted to purchase either a pre-owned or modified existing vehicle in an amount not to exceed 76,000, because they may not be able to get that. Class 7
Right,
truck.
right.
So that's it.
Yep.
Okay, so we need a motion.
So I'm sorry, will the decommissioning of the bus be less than $76,000?
Well, we have to purchase the bus and then decommission it. I do anticipate, we think it will be much less than seven.
I would hope so.
Yeah. There will be an additional cost to wrap it for the advertising, which we didn't initially include, but again, we still imagine it'll be less than the 75,000.
So let's rework the motion. All right, Barry,
Sure. We have a motion to approve the execution and delivery of a contract with Monroe 2 Orleans BOCES Center for Workforce Development to purchase a vehicle to be used for a CDLB driver's training class not to exceed $76,000, including any renovations or modifications needed to the vehicle.
okay, so
I'll move that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Take a picture of the bus and.
We certainly will. We'll be in touch to talk about those steps. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, definitely.
Take care.
That really felt good.
Good use of our money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not in the budget. Rap, Phil's name around. We need a motion to go into executive session. All in favor?
All right, it's all started off here with the personal request.
Doesn't have to lead into the legal sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
We're not even there yet. We still have to do the motion, something on.
all right, so, let's go with the motions on the loan here. A motion to approve 800,000 SBA 504 loans for the purpose of purchasing 10,530 square foot existing building in the town of Pittsburgh.
I'll move that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, a motion to approve $660,000 SBA 504 loan for the purpose of purchasing and renovating a 31,120 square foot building in the town of Henrietta. And a Plan B motion attached to that.
I'll move that. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And the third one, which is the Plan B motion, motion to approve $165,000 revolving loan to allow for the borrower's preferred timeline and bank requirement for the purchase of the building in 2025. Should the SBA be unable to process the loan.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, Zach, we're gonna go to the governance meeting, and when we get to legal services, we're gonna go.
Go back and put that.
We'll go back into the executive session. Just for that.
All right, so you want to go into executive session now?
Do we have to go into executive session for all of these, right? Is this open?
This, the approvals will be open. If you want to discuss any of them, you're able to discuss them in executive session, but I think there was no other responses for any of the RFPs other than legal.
Correct, right, so legal is the only category where there were multiple. There was interest from more than one firm, so we wanted that, and that we go into executive session, that portion. Otherwise, we can have the conversation.
We'll just do you. Okay, so let's discuss the rest of this, and when we get to legal services, we'll ask you to go across the street.
All right, so yeah, we met last week, so, yeah, we didn't have any other. Things for the other, accounting, financial services, local labor mentions, but, yeah, so those will all carry on who we're currently using. The price increases we thought were all fair and reasonable. So really not much to discuss there now. Talk about the legals.
All right, this, well, I don't think we're going to.
You don't have to.
Yeah. The legal service.
All right, so we had 3 competitive bids for legal, so Nixon Peabody, Harris Beach, and Philip Lytle. We kind of all agreed that they were all qualified. Phillips Lytle, their pricing was a little bit unusual. And then, yeah, then it came down to Nixon Peabody and Harris Beach, and we all agreed that very.
What did we agree on?
To exclude Phillips at first.
Okay.
And then it came down to Harris Beach and Nixon Peabody, and we agreed that, yeah, Nixon Peabody is doing a great job and can continue with very. We have ratings and everything like that, but. Yeah.
So, while he's out, you're gonna vote on all of these motions, okay, one by one, and, call him back when we're done this.
So I just asking a question on the others. So we're trying to get people to bid and they wouldn't.
Correct, yeah, we put it out there, budgeted places. Wow.
Daily Record and the Register Business Journal. There were others that responded requesting the RFPs, but never submitted anything. Yeah, we had like 3 other people ask for like financial. So, but nobody sent anything back, so.
Okay, so can we start? All right, let's go to the auditor contract, motion to approve the contract. Mendel Mexer and Bar as a certified financial auditors for 4 years, subject to an annual board approval beginning with the fiscal year 2025 financial audit. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Accounting and financial services. Motion to approve a contract with the Bonneville Group to provide accounting, financial services for 4 years, subject to the annual board approval beginning January 1st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We actually got Craig get out of here too, huh? Look at that face there.
I can leave.
Local labor.
Start over.
Local labor and monitoring contract, motion to approve contract with local rural consulting group to provide local labor monitoring services for 4 years, subject to an annual board approval beginning January 1st, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay, the local labor exemption processing contract. Motion to approve a contract with local rural consulting group to provide local labor exemption. Processing for 4 years, subject to an annual board approval beginning January 1st, 2026. Move it. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Legal service contract, motion to approve a contract with Nixon Peabody LLP to provide legal services for 4 years, subject to an annual board approval beginning January 1st, 2026.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
And you can get there. Next is that, the governance committee. Now go to the digital solution resolution. M&T Bank has requested a board resolution to allow the use of electronic signatures on checks under 5,000. This will mainly be used in filing UUCs and credit card, not an option. Somebody explain that, please.
So UCCs, we need to start mailing in, and we may need to cut checks for those, and they're $20 or $25. Rather than giving Anna $15, $25 checks to sign.
We do ours by credit card for the way.
Yes, but there's a whole thing where sometimes you have to mail it in instead of being able to, so we wanted to be able to use a stamp on the check instead of having to get a signature from Anna and then either track you down for a signature.
And is everybody around the table familiar with the uniform commercial code filing requirement?
So it's like small miscellaneous checks that.
Those are how.
And just so you know, there would be like an email approval of Anna saying, yes, go ahead and use the signature. So it wouldn't just be I'm stamping random checks.
So motion to approve a resolution authorizing M&T Bank to honor checks, drafts, and other orders for the payment of money drawn on behalf of MCIDC using electronic signature.
So are there limits?
Yeah,
5,000.
under 5,000. And that's because over 5,000 is when we need 2 signatures. Something.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
CC charges for them, so I know we have. the projects. Certainly seems like we did.
No, we didn't do a motion to.
Oh.
We need a motion.
We didn't miss it.
Second.